law. So this is the law of the funnel. So that's how we teach people, we want to fix cars faster. Fixing cars faster, the best way to manage that process and actually win is not working faster. And so we teach people about the equation that's involved in that, because most people go and they go, okay, the boss or the consultant or the conference or the insurance company or the customer, they want their cars fixed faster. And so as leaders, we come back and we say, okay, fix cars faster. So we up the stress level to try and light a fire. Come on, guys, let's get to work here. And then what happens? Everybody works hurriedly and shit goes wrong and we break stuff and it costs us money and we have poor quality. And so for us, it's all about quality. And if we want to fix cars faster, it's much easier to do, to go about it a different way. So if we want to, let's say we have 50 cars on site and we're going to send, our average is 5 cars a day home. So if we have 50 cars work in process on site, so 50 cars, and then we want to send home 5 cars a day, that's going to equal our cycle time. So what's our cycle time?
10 days.
10 days. Okay? And that's a day. And so most people, when I say, okay, 10 days, the industry average is 11, that sucks, right? We don't want to be average. We want to be world class, right? So how would we cut that in half? How would we go about that? And most people would come back and say, well, we get our asses to work and we work overtime. We stay longer and we light a fire. We want people to walk with a purpose and get it done. And so let's say we go through and we say, okay, we bust ass and we do process improvement and we do all of this stuff. We light a fire and maybe they feel the stress and they don't make a mistake and screw us, but let's say they actually win at that and we fix 6 cars, okay? We added a car a day. That'd be awesome if you could do that in a month. That's crazy. You'd be lucky if you can do that in a year. So 50 divided by 6 is what? It's going to be a decimal. I'm going to cheat. So 50 divided by 6, it'll be 9 point something. So 50 divided by 6 equals 8.33. Okay. Okay, so we come out and we have this sprint capacity and everybody's working their ass off and all that stuff, and we didn't get to our goal of 5 days, cutting it in half. And then people go, well, shit, we didn't get it, or we blew something up, or even if we're doing really good at that, I can't maintain that sprint capacity all year. So we back up and we say, okay, now we're having more defects, we're having problems, people can't sustain, they're leaving because they're stressed, because we're pumping them up with cortisol and all this stuff. What if we didn't work any harder? Even if we didn't work any smarter? What if we just did the same damn thing that we're doing now? And we went through and said, you know what? Rather than, we have 3 stalls over there, 3 stalls here, and 3 stalls over there. So that's less than 10 cars. So we can't fix more than 10 cars at a time. Do we need 50 freaking cars on site? What does that turn into? 40 cars parked outside, or even worse, parked inside, clustering the whole area. And so we say, what if we just do the same thing that we're doing? And then rather than, just having extra cars on site that, another customer to call and say, sorry, your car's not ready today. What if we just changed our work in process, our inventory? So the 2 things we can change are output rate, get more shit done, or we can change our work in process. So let's, rather than focus on the output, let's focus on the work in process. And what if we just said, you know what? We can only fix 10 cars at a time. What if we just cut that in half? If we had 25 cars, that's more than double. That's 2.5 times what we can have inside to work on. We don't need any more than that. Hell, it's still, 15 cars. We used to fix 5 cars. We're going to fix 5 cars now. What does that equal cycle time wise?
5 days.
5 days. So we just went from your average body shop to world class, and what did we change?
You reduce the amount of inventory.
The shit laying around, right? That we're not going to touch for days. So did that hurt us at all? No. Did it help us? So we have less customers to call. We have less parts cars laying around. We have less Tetris that we have to play at the end of the day to beat our high score. So less to manage, right? Life gets easier. You'll find that as you lower that work in process, not only do you win from a customer's eyes or an insurance company's eyes or whatever, you have less to manage, and you don't have to have a super huge shop. You just turn the cars over faster. However, as you remove that inventory, what you're going to find as collision repairs is we have all this inventory laying around because of the 50 cars that are on site, we can probably only fix 5 of them because the rest of them have a problem. That one's waiting on parts, and that one's waiting on authorization, and this one is rework, and this one, all these cars, but we can't do shit with any of them because there's problems. And so if you want to lower your inventory level, you're going to discover those problems because you're going to lower it down to a point that I go to fix that next car and it's not there. Or it's there, but it doesn't have the authorization. And then we go, oh shit. We want it to be world class, but the technician that gets paid off of commission dollars says, hey, I need another car to pee on. If you're not producing numbers for me, because I see my world as my little, Casey's shop inside these 3 stalls. If you don't give me another car to fix, that's commission dollars. I can't feed my family. Screw you. I'm going somewhere else. These toolboxes have wheels on them for a reason. And that's how we've run our industry for the last 5 decades. And so as you lower that inventory level, you're going to discover problems because you want to. So you want to lower the inventory level till you hit a problem. And then you go, okay, how do we fix that problem? You either dive in to fix it, but it costs you money. It's going to cost you money as the owner or leader, and it's going to cost your technicians money. But if you don't fix it, you don't get any better. And so you discover the problem, you fix it, and then you can lower the inventory level more. But most shops, what they do in the collision industry is they lower it down. They're like, hey, we want to be world class. However, the boss comes out and says, hey, this is the number we got to hit at the end of the month. We can't stand around saying kumbaya, and these guys ain't got nothing to work on. He's going to lead, pile more cars in. So they build the inventory level back up, and so now we're masking all those problems again. We never fix anything, and we wonder why the shit doesn't get any better.
See you.
Yeah, have a good day, Dad. See
you,
you.
Charlie.
Thank you. Hit it straight.
But that's what happens. You lower the inventory level till you find a problem so you can fix it. You either fix it so you can lower it again or maintain that level, or you raise the level back up, you go back to what you were doing, and why the hell are you out here trying to learn if you're going to do that? And so that's kind of what we talk about is it's not about working faster. It's not even about working harder. We will pick up process improvements just by not having to manage more shit, for sure. And then we can get from 5 to 6 days. That's a lot of 2-second improvements. That's shaving a second off of our pit time, in a NASCAR race. How do you do that? You make lots of tweaks and changes. You get that process dialed in. We attack this as well. We just know that has a much longer tail than lowering our inventory level. Okay.
When you say lower your inventory level, does that mean you don't refuse jobs, you just wait for customers to bring the cars in?
So we schedule better, yeah. So rather than a customer coming in and saying, hey, I want to fix my car, I got an estimate, and then we're so concerned that they're not going to choose us, that if I say, hey, we're going to schedule you next week, we're scared they're going to go to a competitor. And so what we do is we say, get the keys, get the keys, get the keys. Once we get the keys, I own that job.
Right.
They're not going anywhere else. And so that's what we do.
Right.
And so if you're going to schedule somebody, you have to give them a reason. Why do they want to wait to go to you? Why will somebody stand in line at a restaurant and wait to be seated? Because the restaurant's good. Because I'm going to enjoy my experience. If you show up at McDonald's and the line is out the door and there's a Burger King next door, where are you going to go? I'm going to Burger King. I'm not going to wait an hour for McDonald's. But I will wait an hour at some steakhouse or whatever because of the experience and what I'm going to get out of it, the quality or whatever. And so we build that up and we focus on sales as this is why you should wait to choose us. And so that's a different problem that you got to solve. But if you don't lower that inventory level, or if you don't try to schedule them and realize that they're jumping ship and not coming in, you don't ever uncover problems. So that's what we want. We want people to bring us problems. We want to discover problems because problems are our friend. Usually it's a headache for us managers. That's why we run around and put out fires, our little fireman hat all day long, and that we feel like we're doing something. However, that's not what we should be doing. We want a more sustainable, repeatable process. And so we want problems because problems are opportunity to get better. Instead of covering that shit up, expose it and then empower people to fix it. Give them the tools and do that kind of stuff. But this is how we do it. This is what winning looks like in the collision repair world, and this is how you do it. It's very, very simple. However, as you go from 50 cars to 40 cars, you discover problems. But as you fix those problems, you can lower it down even further. So our average cycle time, we went from 11 days to 6 days.